When I met her, I was the editor. It was my first day on the job, and she was the photo editor of Russian Maxim. I met her, and I go, oh, that's my wife. I just knew it.
Although Greg Gutfeld has perhaps become the undisputed master of late-night television, his New York City mansion is home to more than just him. Although Elena Musa is not well known outside of the fashion business, her work speaks for itself. Not only is the Russian-born designer and stylist Greg Gutfeld's wife a Fox News anchor, a famous fashion stylist, but she is also known for her ability to breathe new life into her designs. Their reserved nature may prevent them from being recognized as one of Hollywood's power couples, but their love is just as new now as it was when they first started dating. In this article, you will discover some interesting facts about the design genius Greg Gutfeld, and you will try not to gasp when you see his wife. Greg Gutfeld's show, Gutfeld, reached a level of success that few late-night hosts have ever seen, when it surpassed The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which had been operating for several years, in terms of late-night viewership. The show initially hit this landmark in August of 2022, with an astounding 2.355 million viewers, surpassing Stephen Colbert's 2.143 million. Additionally, in the key demographic of 25-54-year-olds, Gutfeld had 397,000 viewers to Colbert's 373,000. Because his rivals were forced to leave due to the writers' strike, his show became the sole late-night program for most of 2023 and continued to draw in viewers even after the strike ended. Being the outcast may really have its benefits, it seems. The meteoric rise to fame of Gutfeld as an anchor has sparked curiosity in the newsman's private and professional life. Luckily, Gutfeld's achievements extend beyond his professional life. He has a fantastic girlfriend who has been at his side for over 2 decades, making him an approachable family guy and a model of success in all aspects of life. Even though Elena Musa has been an incredible support system for her husband throughout his whole career, it hasn't stopped her from achieving great success in her own right. A former runway model turned fashion stylist and designer, Elena Musa is from Russia. Born on May 4, 1982 in Russia, Musa spent her early years there until her family moved to London. Musa went back to Russia in her early 20s to work as a fashion model, where her towering stature won over the hearts of designers. Musa's career in fashion began with her impressive runway work, which led to her landing a position as photo editor for Maxim magazine's Russia edition. She was able to showcase her talent for the business and her professional expertise in this job, which she filled with originality and style. The role catapulted her personal and professional lives to heights she had never imagined. Do your best to hold back your shock at how they had a love story right out of a children's book when Musa and Gutfeld were both working at Maxim at the same time. While Musa may seem reserved, her husband was more than happy to fill fans in on the specifics of their encounter. Gutfeld allegedly met Musa on his first day as editor-in-chief of Maxim UK, as stated in an interview. At a Portugal meeting for all Maxim publications, the two happened to be in nearby rooms, seemingly by coincidence. Gutfeld revealed that he was so captivated by the woman that he approached the Russian editor to learn more about her. Despite all the obstacles, Gutfeld persisted in making advances at Elena for 3 days in a row without success before finally asking her out on a date. Just a nice reminder to totally avoid doing this at work unless you want to land yourself in HR's crosshairs. Due to the success of their date, the man had a surprise in store for her. She consented to meet him again and even followed him to London. They were perfect for each other. After just 5 months of dating, they sealed the knot in a New York civil ceremony and haven't looked back. Maybe it's time for the ladies to try the short kings. They moved back to London after their New York wedding and stayed there until Gutfeld's contract with Maxim ended. Maxim delayed renewing his contract because of the decline in readership that occurred while he was editor-in-chief. While the young couple's careers may have taken a nosedive due to the setback, it really marked the beginning of the beloved Gutfeld family. Though her time as a photojournalist paved the way for Musa's style work and subsequent foray into design, it was her fresh perspective on the fields that propelled her to the forefront of her field. Launching her conceptual showroom, the Musa Project, at the beginning of her career was one of the more distinctive and intimate styling approaches taken by Musa. Elena and her sister Victoria collaborated on the store, which offered affordable rentals of designer clothing, shoes, and accessories with the option to buy them later, even though it's only a basic idea. The Russian fashion blog named Musa one of Russia's secret shopping jewels, praising her unique approach of using a string of different hues to cater to her diversified customer. The fact that Musa was able to dip her toes into the business world at such a young age demonstrates her talent for seeing untapped opportunities and her drive. After years of blissfully assisting brides-to-be create their dream wedding hair and makeup, the Musa project finally shut down. Elena Musa has demonstrated the courage and self-assurance to experiment with and discover distinctive methods to represent even the most ubiquitous wardrobe items in her work. The editorial feature on incorporating bright colors into winter attire in Venice magazine in January 2019 was ascribed to stylist Elena Musa. As this project demonstrated, Elena is not afraid to break the rules or work within the confines of the fashion industry to produce trendy styles that inject some life into the otherwise monochromatic winter wardrobe. Musa nodded to the model in the images and shared them on Instagram, offering her fans a glimpse into her skill at working with industry models and her admiration for the trade even after leaving the business. Numero, a Russian fashion magazine, was another one of Musa's famous clients. She was able to demonstrate her talent for connecting with the pieces and her attention to detail in her culminating endeavor. Also, a visual masterwork that spoke of a similar aesthetic and vision was created by Musa and the Russian photographer Kat Aaron. She was able to return to her cultural and artistic origins via the partnership, while also incorporating some of the global influences she had picked up along the way. The coat, a statement piece that spoke to her, was the focal point of her presentation of the project. Musa is also known for being the stylist that brought out the best in Haya Maraca for her CoverGirl story, which showcased the A.W. Fendi collection. The central focus of the project was on how to style and rock the premium brand Fendi, and it featured pieces from the A.W. season. This project highlighted the importance of designer pieces in a modern woman's wardrobe, and demonstrated Musa's talent for creating beautiful, contemporary, and practical outfits for the modern lady. The looks were suitable for both the workplace and an evening out. Along with her honorable mentions, Elena Musa is well known in the fashion world for her work as a stylist. Her profile on the Lee Book website showcases her many achievements in the field, as well as her famous collaborations, which further establish her standing as a leading international stylist. Among her many notable works are Harper's Bazaar and Musa worked together on a Mexican editorial style. This partnership exemplifies Musa's influence and status in the business, which attract top fashion publications to hire her as a stylist. Her capacity to match and maintain an aesthetic was on full display throughout the cooperation, as was her creative vision. Musa's style project for the Middle Eastern edition of L'Officiel, a fashion magazine. Musa was selected as the stylist for the cover of the prestigious magazine L'Officiel in August 2015. Her ability to absorb the magazine's image and incorporate her own styling skills is on full display in this work, which also attests to her worldwide appeal and talent. As Musa's second assignment with the magazine following her work on the cover for the Paris edition, the L'Officiel Middle East cover showcased her excellent work ethic and reliability. Musa has established herself as a formidable figure in the fashion business, garnering acclaim in the world's most important fashion capitals. In her role as a stylist for South China Morning Post, Musa has embraced a more rustic style of femininity. Her skill in working on a topic and incorporating many styles and motifs into an aesthetic was on full display in the collaborative project. Because of her mastery of international appeal and her capacity to produce works of art that transcend cultural and physical barriers, Musa has earned a place at the industry's table and can be described as a style genius. Although Musa may have started out as a model for other people's ideas and creations, she is now embarking on a career as a vigilant creative stylist. From modeling to fashion and hairstyling, how did she get there? Was it just good fortune mixed with natural ability, or was it the result of deliberate practice? We attribute Elena Musa's worldwide success to her enthusiasm and talent, but she has training in the business world as well. Musa reportedly got her start in the industry at the Fashion Institute of Technology, according to her LinkedIn page. In 2015, Musa made a significant professional move by enrolling in New York's illustrious Parsons School of Design, the New Schools. To this day, Parsons continues to be one of the most illustrious arts and design schools in the United States, producing notable alumni like Van Truex, Alexander Wang, Tom Ford, Lázaro Hernandez, and countless more. It goes without saying that the investment was beneficial and a wonderful complement to her thriving portfolio. Musa honed her stylistic abilities by specializing on fashion and apparel design, according to her LinkedIn page. Looking into her Parsons biography sheds light on her time while teaching at the school, where she created a line of turbans that drew inspiration from the shared qualities of paper and cloth. Similar to how paper can be bent and sculpted into various garments and headpieces, fabric can also do so throughout the creative process. Musa emphasized the textural qualities of her works by adding a rainbow of hues to her collection for the project. The fact that Musa has remained committed to the program, despite her extensive background and widespread recognition in the industry, speaks volumes about her love of the work and her desire to keep up with the dynamic nature of her field. Her unconventional use of paper and fabric reveals her creative process, her capacity to go beyond the norm, and the chances she is willing to take in her designs, all of which pay off. In order to display her artistic abilities and to reach a broader audience and to sample their ideas, Musa did not hold back when it came to sharing her academic program and projects on her Instagram feed. Even while Musa isn't shy about showing the world her artistic abilities, she keeps her private life under wraps. Actually, she hasn't tried to dive into interviews or reveal more about her personal life, and her social media accounts seem more like diary entries. Greg, in contrast to Musa, has not been bashful about sharing details about his lovely life outside of political parody. Just by taking a cursory look at his Instagram feed, it is clear that this man is still head over heels for his wife, whom he wooed in Portugal 20 years ago. Gutfeld unveiled a memorial painting to his late wife in 2020. Jeffrey Rower, a gifted artist and Dallas Cowboys linebacker, painted the portrait of his wife, Elena Musa. This kind act demonstrates his utmost respect for his wife, a testament to her character and the fact that her beauty remains untouched after 2 decades of marriage. In addition to capturing Musa's personality, this monumental act of love also touched on her passion for and admiration of the arts. Sharing a photo of Musa with her mother and the heartfelt caption, "Thanks for creating the best thing in my life," Gutfeld took to social media to wish his mother-in-law a happy Mother's Day. The tribute not only celebrates his mother-in-law and their wonderful relationship, but also expresses his genuine and profound love for his wife and partner. It would appear that the man will make the most of every chance to express his affection for his wife. Having a model spouse probably wouldn't change anyone's mind, would it? Also, Gutfeld celebrated his wife's birthday by posting an online message to thank her for all the years they've spent together and to honor her unwavering character. Their friendship and connection had remained unchanged throughout the years, and the text reflected that. Musa has a great rapport with Gutfeld's relatives in addition to her flourishing marriage, which, given her age, she ought to publish a book about. "My sister and wife together, and no one has stabbed each other." The caption, although humorously written, speaks of a wonderful relationship between the two women. It's welcoming and a breath of fresh air to think that not only is her marriage thriving, but so is her relationship with her in-laws. The anchor made these remarks in an Instagram post with his sister and Musa. P.S. One thing that the internet has made very evident is that in-law relationships may be quite tricky to handle. Thanks to Gutfeld's modest views into the couple's lives, we get a fantastic sense of the couple's connection, where privacy is paramount in their lovely existence away from professional situations, and we get a small insight into their joyful marriage. When it comes to his wife's family, Gutfeld has remained devoted and enjoys a good relationship with them. Although she was in the nation, Musa's mom had to flee to Lviv in western Ukraine when the Russian invasion of Ukraine began. With the assistance of the Fox News teams, Greg Gutfeld's mother-in-law was able to reunite with Musa in Poland, and Gutfeld subsequently posted a video of the reunion. Since hardly many individuals in the nation were able to escape alive, he went on to praise the crew for helping his mother-in-law go. His unwavering will to safeguard his family is on full show in his efforts to assist his mother-in-law in reuniting with his wife, who was waiting anxiously in Poland. It would appear that Musa and Gutfeld are childless, but that hasn't stopped them from fully enjoying their job as dog parents. After Gus, their French bulldog, joined the Gutfeld family in 2022, he began making frequent appearances on Gutfeld's social media. Gutfeld's social media posts highlight the couple's dog-human link by sharing photos and videos of the couple's daily lives, as well as those of their New York City bulldog, who brings happiness and companionship into their household. The happiness and company he provides to their house are reflected in Gus's daily adventures. Which experiences are you interested in? Whenever Gutfeld goes out to restaurants, Gus is always invited to join him for a dinner. This shows that he is more than simply a dog to them. He is a beloved family member. Fox News personality Dana Perino and Gus have been seen hanging around, and it's great to see how well Gus gets along with others outside of his family. Although Gus lives with Gutfeld and Musa indefinitely, Musa has plenty of love to go around. She's a great aunt who frequently uploads Instagram photos of herself enjoying time with her cherished niece. Following his dismissal from his role as presenter of Maxim's Red Eye in February 2007, Greg Gutfeld's tenure at Fox News commenced soon after. At first, the show ran at extremely ungodly hours every day, including a Saturday night airing at 11 o'clock. After just 4 years on the job, Greg Gutfeld was a regular contributor to Fox News' political talk show, The Five. His career at Fox was skyrocketing, and in 2015 he hosted his own show, The Greg Gutfeld Show, which aired on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. with the premiere of Gutfeld. In 2021, the Late Night Show Club became Gutfeld's domain, and ever since then, it has been competitive with veterans. Launching his late-night talk program was a bold move by Gutfeld. In his assessment of the current crop of late-night programming, Gutfeld found a dearth of depth and innovation, likening his rivals to string cheese in terms of flavor and appeal. The writer, he said, was just recycling old material without any originality, because all the shows used the same sources. This was just one example of how the late-night TV scene was so bland and uninteresting. Despite writers abandoning their craft about 15 months after he made his late-night debut, his program remained the sole one airing because of this early call, which he made as if hinting to future events were a critical assessment. Despite Gutfeld's program being the youngest on the late-night market, his statistics are far beyond the crawling stage. In only 5 years, he accomplished what other people couldn't. Although Gutfeld was new to late night, he was no stranger to the entertainment industry. With experience as an editor-in-chief, Gutfeld had the unique opportunity to be on the front and behind the scenes. Gutfeld pointed out that the current late-night shows catered only to conservatives and ignored the rest of the political spectrum. Gutfeld used this strategy as a springboard to launch a program that would appeal to a diverse demographic without taking a side in any political debate. One thing that sets Gutfeld apart from his opponents is his delivery and comedic manner, which he uses to bring comedy into his speeches while mocking political people and agendas. He also takes on political satire. And lastly, Gutfeld had a dedicated fan base that followed him onto late-night television for nearly 7 years before he broke into the spotlight. The figures have stayed the same, even though he has received criticism and reaction for some of his remarks. While Gutfeld's 2021 arrival to the late-night crew did not make him a stranger to politics, his meteoric rise to national fame warrants investigation. As of 2021, Gutfeld had risen to the position of 12th most prominent American media figure, according to the Mediaite website. Despite his ongoing popularity, opponents continue to accuse him of doing anything from pretending he isn't funny to stating he didn't dethrone Stephen Colbert because he isn't a late-night program to simply riding the anti-woke train to be relevant. In his brief reign, the guy appears to have amassed an army of opponents, and he shows no signs of relenting. People from all over the world are tuning in to hear him rant about the latest anti-woke agenda as they laugh at his satirical humor, so it's hard to say whether or not they'll back down. Although Gutfeld gives the impression of being conservative, he strongly disagrees. Gutfeld discussed his life in college and how it shaped his political views in a previous interview. He adopted a conservative attitude after spending time with liberals, but libertarianism became his genuine calling after spending time with conservatives. Liberty, equality before the law, and political freedom are the fundamental principles of this political system. The ideological chasm that existed between the two camps, with each side clinging to an ill-founded moral standard, provided him with the impetus he needed to break free of the affiliations. Gutfeld has been the target of criticism and outrage before. Some people are going to take offense when you present a show where you express your political opinions. That is precisely what Gutfeld accomplished when reporting on the Taliban's conquest of Afghanistan. Even though Gutfeld's comments were marked by his signature combination of criticism and humor, he said a number of things about the Taliban's repressive policies that provoked criticism. These remarks undermined the Taliban's persistent abuse of Islamic law to violate the rights of its victims and were about the oppression of women and the LGBTQ community. When asked about the media's claims that the new Taliban regime would be more moderate than its predecessor, Gutfeld made a sardonic remark about women's rights and asked what a kinder, gentler Taliban would look like, using exaggerated examples to show how ridiculous it is to think of the Taliban in any positive light. Is Greg Gutfeld, who has become famous and made a respectable income commenting on national politics, willing to stand by his political beliefs when it comes time to vote? The Washington Post exposed Gutfeld in 2016 for perhaps not having cast his ballot, so it turns out he's all talk and no action. His allegation that he voted by mail was not supported by the documents reviewed by the Washington Post. I'm not sure I'm on board with the idea of investigating someone else's voting history, but why should anyone listen to a political analyst who doesn't cast a ballot? Unfortunately, Gutfeld was unable to meet the required deadline. I really hope that he has now purchased a trustworthy calendar to ensure that he fulfills his responsibilities as a citizen. While hosting the show Red Eye, Gutfeld got himself into trouble with the Canadian Ministry of Defence for some insensitive comments he made. In an interview with Canadian General Andrew Leslie, Leslie said that Canadian soldiers needed a synchronized break once the mission in Afghanistan was over. Gutfeld took this as a sign that they should do yoga, paint, and run on the beach. His co-host added that he thought people went to Afghanistan to avoid confrontation. There was outrage and a statement from the Canadian Defence Minister in response to the show, which prompted Gutfeld to apologize, and it aired only 3 days after 4 Canadian troops died in Afghanistan. One certain method to become a target is to annoy the whole Defence Ministry. Although Gutfeld was elated when his mother-in-law was rescued from Ukraine, he continued to express his displeasure with the way the conflict was reported in the media. He claimed that in order to make a profit, the media were using war video to manipulate viewers. Fox News foreign affairs reporter on the scene criticized his insensitive remarks. These remarks were made 3 days before to the correspondent's injury and the death of a Fox staffer at the hands of the Russians in an unexpected attack. Even though his mother-in-law had just been rescued from a dangerous conflict zone, I think we can all agree that his remarks were reprehensible. As if controlling his outbursts on national television would be a top concern for someone like Gutfeld, who had previously clashed with the Ministry of Defense, once again took an unusual position in July 2023 over a Florida curriculum that would teach students that slaves had skills that could be used to their advantage. One Jewish panelist, Jessica Tarlov, voiced her disapproval of the curriculum, arguing that it treats Holocaust survivors as if they had to have been valuable or skilled in order to survive. Gutfeld had hinted that this was the case. The Auschwitz Memorial denied the accusation, and the White House press secretary condemned the remarks as a horrid, dangerous, extreme lie that insults the memory of millions of Americans who suffered from the evil of enslavement. Defending the guy is becoming more difficult. Much obliged for your time. Feel free to share your thoughts about Elena Musa's career with us below.